Finding a job, it ain't easy, especially one that ain't greasy. Gotta find me a one in a hurry. Things are so funny and it's gotten me worried. A brother got a job that paid off. 2 months later, he got laid off. Someone tell me what the hell is this? Know that Johnny got Tara Watson for your mind this time. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? All is not lost today. Your brown eyes converted me and let me know that you the right girl for me. All right. They like this shit. Man. Make sure they empty and shit. May the power of blue argonite propel you. May the power of blue argonite propel you. uh, y'all probably couldn't even see that shit. Oh my goodness, that was so nice to go like, it's practice, practice, practice. They probably didn't even show up on film. Be able to go to the That's nice. Uh, for those that don't know me or first time, the fuck is choking me? God damn. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I'm your super funky host tonight, Big Pontiac. And the shit I take serious and what motivates me is because I am the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. But the fun part is, and the relatable part is, I am also that one and only Galactic Daddy-O, welcoming each and every one of the Chocolate Mountaineers to this galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota out to the universe. So welcome one and all. Yeah, I knew I was going to forget what I was about to talk about if I waited. And tonight's beer, this is really how you do business. You like tell them what you want. Tell them what you want, and when they get it in, they just hold it in the basement until you're ready to get it out. So I bought about 3 6-packs, and they said, well, we have another one for you too. I was like, well, you know what? When I drank these, have it for me. They said, you know what? It'll be there when you come get it. So I walk in the store, and they like, are you ready for your case? Yes, bring it on. And they go and get my motherfucking case. All the way from Denver or Colorado. So tonight's beer is Boulder Beer again. And I'm drinking one of the 6-packs. So tonight, as you look, and then I do have that Killian's Red glass, even though I don't have Killian's beer in it because this beer's better. But you look at this and you just look at that. You see that is just dark. Oh. And as you look at this moment, you just wish you could be me. You just really wish you could be me right now holding this mug. You're just like, damn, what would it be like just to be him for this moment holding this mug? Oh, this is something I probably don't need any more of. I've had plenty, but standing on the verge, standing on the verge of getting it on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and this is the Unicorn Luca. Well, probably too full. It's not like I need it anyway. We'll go back to the Luca later. But pop them if you got them. Smoke them if you want them. Probably put too much in here. Yes, I absolutely did. Oh. So just a little bit of equipment repair. And then just back in business. But I don't need any more of that, so smoke them if you want them. Where do I start? I start with Lobo. I'm a Tennessee fan, but that Carolina jersey is clean. I told you the best thing, the best T-shirt, one of the best T-shirts, the 2 best T-shirts I ever saw was a South Carolina jersey that says "You can't beat our cops," and the other one was I was in D.C. and I had this for years until it just wore out, and it said, "I hate cats, but I love pussy," and it had cats rubbing up against a dog. But yeah, and the Sapani are down in South Carolina. We've had pretty cool relations with them, which is, part of the Heathcock. So I don't mind giving love. And I like jerseys. one of my best friends in college was from South Carolina. And when George Rogers won the Heisman Trophy, he was crazy about it. PJ Allen, what's happening? What is happening? The United Drills, what is going on? Charlita, what's happening? I'm going to start like this, and if Read My Soul ever joins, I've been forgetting. So now, I'm working man again after 8 years. I feel good enough to work again, and I'm on my feet most of the time. So it's really like figuring out what I can use that helps the most. And so going to the outlet, it's a Skechers out there. These are Skechers. And these are the ones that Howie Long shows. And I'll say, this is, if you're on your feet, this is the perfect kind of deal. Now, it was expensive. These were 90 some bucks. I was going to get me, I looked at a pair of Air Max, and at the Nike outlet, it was like between these and the Air Max, these molded to my feet almost instantly. Normally the Max are too thin for me at the toe. This pair really wasn't, but it was going to take some time to break them in. These was like ready to go. So even though they were, these were 95 bucks, this is now playing pickleball. No, you're not going to get any lateral support at all. These ain't for that. Super light walking shoes, walking on your feet shoes. Again, not for pickleball, because you're not going to get, they're so light. Now, again, I'll say this. If you don't really need that support in pickleball and you can pick up these light shoes, and the fall is what bothers you, as you move, it's not the lateral. These ain't bad. These will give you all the support you want. Again, they're not going to give you any of this support, because this is more on just the walking. However, if you are good in that area where you don't need this cup support, and you're light enough to pick this up, be successful for you. And I meant to show the other pair too, and left the other pair. Left the other pair. Let's see if this is ready to work now. Let's see. Yeah, it worked that time. Goddamn. Oh, yeah. You better blow that shit out. Whew. Didn't need it, but thank you anyway. Whoops. And second thing I want to show you. Now, studying is not easy, and it really shouldn't be. I talked about, I ordered several books. I got 2 more coming. Tasha Z talked a little bit about this. I talked about this about a month or 2 ago. The mounds. Well, I talked about this last night, where I was saying, you find in the bound heads all the way up into Arkansas. So we know that the bound heads were in America. I mean, it's just, part of the American culture. I won't forget. Hey, Brother James, I'm sorry. He said it's funny. Hey, there's Ciola. Ciola, what's happening, man? Ciola, man, if everything works out, I hope to bring you here. I hope in the next 6 months I can bring you here if everything works out. So that's all I'm gonna say. Don't wanna spike it all. I think what I think what I know you can help me with, I think might be working out. So we'll see. We'll see. That's all I want to say. But Ciola, thank you for rocking with me. As the shit comes, I'll definitely want to keep you available, bring you up here, and let you work with this shit. I want to get you in that room, though. It's a room that is the most quietest room on earth. I wonder how many people could take that. How many people could take the quietest room on earth? Can you imagine that? Because what happens is, and maybe I should even do it as an exercise. You get this quiet where all the outside noise is pretty much taken away. Even if you could do some soundproofing, you could kill a lot of that too. Shugite is very good for that. You painted some Shugite, just painted some like 8x10 or bigger sheets, and you put that around you, it would almost do, it would do a lot of that sound dampening too. Shugite is pretty good for that. Just the painted Shugite would do that. But you start hearing how you really sound, and you start hearing, like if you swallow, you'll hear everything, but you'll hear how you sound. And as I said, with sickness, there's a sound that's different when you get sick. So this is one of the crazy things. But yeah, for real, yeah. Hey, Pale Horse Rider, but see over, yeah, I'll definitely keep you posted because that is the goal. Don't want to say too much, but shit might be popping. We'll see. We'll see. Because it's, man, I've done so much shit. Think quiet rooms were usually a form of torture. Forms of torture. And I've never heard that. How did they make them? Because you know what you just said makes me think of padded rooms. Now I don't know. Again, I'm talking about older TV, older movies. They would put a dude, you know, in the straight jacket, and you know he ain't Houdini, he ain't getting away from that straight jacket, and they put them in a padded room. Like, what would they do to soundproof it? I wonder, you know. But it is a great, and this is one of the only places on in the country that offers this service. It's 2 people for like 100 and something. You get an hour or something in there. So, so I don't know. Is that a Dito Samuels jersey from South Carolina? No, it's not. This is, well, maybe, but this is right here. This is one of their jerseys. I mean, it could be that, but this is I mean, oh, okay. You saying his jersey in college might be no number name, no name on the back. Might be. I didn't even think about that. Wow, could be. This is Under Armour. I got it at Marshalls. uh, so he's like, he's like, no, I'll just stay at my place while you go at that motherfucker. Yeah, you're not getting me in that, but it is a great exercise. I look forward to doing it. I think it's a great exercise. But that's funny. Back to before he made me laugh. I want to say, you know, studying ain't easy. It ain't an easy thing, and it's sometimes you got to go through this information, and you really have to take your time through this information, especially historical things. As much as I do hit these Europeans on the way they've thrown away a lot of information, they've tried to bury. They've destroyed tons and tons. Because what you have to really understand is if they would have really got away with it, none of the ancient information of America really would have took hold. America really would have went back to Montezuma. That was really their aim, was to tell history, American history, going back to, well, Columbus, and then Cortez. That is far as they really wanted to go. Now, as I said last night, Van Sertima put heat on them by finding the heads and putting the heads out there. That backed them up. And understanding the heads, they tried to destroy these things. If you look at head number 1, they tried to really destroy this thing, because that's what they've done through history, is they've went through and demolished a higher standard of history than what they were. They would destroy it. You know, they try to tell you that they have absorbed it. Not all the time. A lot of times they weren't smart enough to absorb it. And so they weren't smart enough to use certain technologies, certain art, fractals. They would destroy it. Okay. However, some of the stuff gets through. And this is the book I ordered. It's called Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley. Now, basically, the book is about a lot of diagrams that was handwritten. To most people, I don't know if they would be able to get through this because of that. But because of my study of this already, just get and you know, they're giving thanks to the Smithsonian. But however, this reality releases a lot of things. As I said, they still want to pump out books. And so when we get gems like these, we grab these and say, okay, I'm gonna get through it. And just reading it already, I understand it. I understand the graphs. I understand all this. And this is a illustrated history from the people that were able to see this stuff before this stuff was destroyed. Who is it? Oh, give me a second to let me in. I think I do know somebody named me. Oh. All right. Did you bring your video game?
I have a cellular device.
Oh, okay. Did you get a
No, I couldn't move.
You didn't get a record to charge your
It's
all right, let my son in. It's my son's birthday. He's the birthday boy. What's going on, 21-year-old? He's older than the motherfucker, 21. Here's a true story. I have 8 children, and of all my 8 children, him and my oldest daughter are the only 2 that I remember from when I got with their mothers. I remember when I got with both of their mothers that time. And that's a funny thing to remember, but it's his 21st birthday, so he's staying with me. So, you know, just show you the cover. They show you some fractals. Oh, okay, yeah. Marshalls be having everything. Oh yeah, this was just something in Marshalls that, you know, I love jerseys, but this is just, you know, it's out there. Yeah, I love jerseys. As I found that jersey, what was the rapist name that played for here, the Vikings? I found this jersey at Marshalls, and I did a little short on it. I was like, what was his name? Sample Sharp. Sharp wasn't his name. Sharp played here in New Orleans, and they sent his ass to prison for fucking rape. It's like, who's gonna buy this? And it's 42. And it's 42. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for his birthday wishes. But yeah. And so it's a achievement in itself to see grown children's. Hey, conspiracy. I'm gonna try to get your I gotta get a box. I ain't putting hats in them envelopes. I gotta get another box for the hat. But as soon as I get a box, I'll send it off to you. And I'll email you back. But yeah, I'm glad you know back rocking. So we can surely do something to that piece I got for sure. And I'll be able to show it off. My goal is to get that piece in real stuff, you know, to get the real piece in gold. That is my goal, to get that omen head, to get an omen head, or even this, get that in some real gold. Turn that face into gold. That transformation. And put that energy out, because it's all about energy. As I said before, you know, everything you wear, this is putting out a certain energy. I mean, most people don't look at their clothes as part of a power outfit, other than, you know, what did they call it? A power suit, you know, pantsuit for women, a power suit. But clothes are that same kind of extension of you. You know, it pushes something out, not necessarily spiritual. It's another message that comes across, you know. Lesser of like your aura. It would push out more like your aura as people see you, and you know, that first impression of this illusion comes with the clothing. So, but the clothing also can speak, you know. That's the when people tell you to color coordinate and stuff, that's what it's all about. It's putting the right combinations that does give you power. As I said before, when you leave out your front door, you should be feeling like you a Super Saiyan. Not, going out your front door as just like, well, damn. No, when you get done, whatever you do to get your ass out the front door, as I said, you always pause. You pause, you go out your front. The moment you open your door, you pause. You got to pause. And then once you go out your front door, you pause again. I mean, you just got to break this kind of stuff. This is just easy magic. This is easy magic. And I'm trying to tell you. You can't just go through these coffins, and I mean, it's a rhythm to this. Open it up, pause, go through, pause, and then move on. But anyway, get that for your black market prices, of course. Bet. Yeah, I would really like to get that little piece, into a Omen head. That would be. I can't imagine, yeah, that would be fairly easy to do. Bet though, you tell me. And we can get it done. but I also, that piece I showed you, I sent you the picture. I think we should, get that piece done too. I think there'll be energy in that. So I was positive what you sent me. I appreciate it. And I'll get the hat off. Yeah, hopefully Monday. I ain't get up till noon today. I ain't had shit to do. And today I did get in pickleball. And it's cool. One thing I'll say this is playing pickleball. When you play games, you don't necessarily get to work on everything, especially you get to lose it. And, you play a game after sitting and, back and forth. You don't get to work on a lot of skills. And I think, as I said last night, probably a couple nights ago, I played better in my 7th, 8th, 9th, like 6, 7, 8. I played way better. My just everything was working. And a lot of times we get to playing games, we don't work on skills. And me and this cat just wanted to work on skills. And we worked on skills for damn near 2 hours. It was so that is a cool kind of way because you get a lot done. And so, yeah, I felt good. I had a good workout with it. He's goofy, had me cracking up. This is I'll say this. These are some basically nice folks for being, 90% European area. People are basically nice. Even the conservative people, which is mostly this area I live in, are pretty nice. Oh, so that gives me to the favorite part I know you guys' favorite part of the show. My favorite part is who are they fucking with in Prior Lake? And this first story is kind of fucked up. It's really, yeah, this first story is kind of messed up on who they fucking with in Prior Lake. Now down here, so down here in the proper city of Prior Lake, you can drive electric vehicles, ATVs, anything. I mean, those are all street legal down here. This guy was a little further away, not too far away, but a little further away because these vehicles, you can take them. But this guy they don't tell his age, but he was a former sheriff's deputy. And it said he passed, he's 76 years old too. So he's driving an ATV at 76 years old, which really ain't, but he was ejected from it. So I know they do come with seatbelts. So he's ejected from it. He hit a curve and was ejected and it killed him. So sorry to hear that, but they do come with seatbelts. The second, who are they fucking with in Prior Lake is a male cited for sunbathing on an elementary school sunroof. They had to go up on the roof at the elementary school. They found, upon the officer's arrival, they found a subject on the roof sunbathing. How did people know he was up there? I mean, from time to time, I do find high rises and I know I'll get the best tan. And I go to these high rises, I have the passes, and I take myself up to the roof, and nobody really knows I'm up there, as long as I have the pass to get on and go up. So who told on him? Or was he looking over as like, hey, sunbathing up here? I don't know. Doesn't really tell. Oh, somebody observed him. Why was he walking around? Now, see, that's where he messed up. When I go to the roof, I just lay down. I don't do anything else. So nobody could observe me, The male subject stated he was trying to tan and relax by reading a book. Schools have books. The subject was cited and trespassed from the school property. We would like to thank everyone at the elementary staff, not only to contacting the police department right away, but also taking precautionary measures. So, what is precautionary measures? So you go to each classroom like, now, there's kind of a guy up on the roof. He doesn't seem harmful, but we don't need to look up there. So we're going to not look up on the roof, guys. So you can go outside and play all you want, but don't look up. Now, this next one ain't funny. This shit ain't funny at all. This is something that happens far too often, but not that often. And as I said before, the troll that lives under the bridge, the thing that feeds the roads, if you really looked at driving, if you looked at the science behind it, it's amazing that more people don't get killed. It really is. It's amazing. But the function of it causes it not. Now, I know people think, well, you take your driver's license, you're trained, and you drive. Yes, all that is true, but it ain't the total point of why we do it. Point in, again, I ran into a car earlier today. I know I did. No, I didn't. The time helps me out, and the car pulled up. As I'm backing up into it, and I saw myself hit this car, but no, time said, nope, we're going to give you a break. Give you a couple seconds of break. Car took off. This don't happen for everybody. Now, I had a cousin killed this very same way, but it says man charged in fatal wrong way crash in this area. Now, the man only tested 0.8, and it says right here, the legal limit for driving. He only tested 0.8. But he admitted they found a little bit of weed in him. That's going to get thrown out. Little probably weed pipe. That's going to get thrown out. He said he did smoke weed. But the problem he had, he went the wrong way. He killed one person driving the wrong way. He had a truck. He had a Ford Explorer. Doesn't say what year. But he was driving the wrong way. And so he's getting charged with, and he hurt two people. So he's getting charged with 2 counts of criminal vehicular operation in connection with the women who were traveling. 2 counts of that. He's getting charged with criminal vehicular homicide. So, and technically he wasn't drunk. I thought it was 0.10, 1.0. So the legal limit, 0.8. So that's, and I'll say for this little bitty paper, jobs like a motherfucker. These little papers had no jobs. Look at this, nothing but jobs. Hiring, day, night shift, $2,000 signing bonus, Costco, roofing, garage doors, driveways, concrete. That's some hard work. Concrete and roofing is some hard work. I had a friend that did that shit. He tried to get me to go in business with him doing that hard, hot ass work. Yeah. No, thank you, buddy. No, thank you. Won money tonight on Colorado. Colorado beat Edmonton again. They're up 3-0. But the gold that won the game, and I didn't make a video because people don't really respond to my hockey videos, but the goal that won the game. So a power play is when, you know, hockey, when you make a foul, you go sit the fuck out for at least 2 minutes. So it's a like a fast break kind of opportunity, 3-on-2, you know, 4-on-3 kind of deal. Well, one person shoots a slap shot. The slap shot comes out long. The person is let out the box, and it was that stuff I say about movie kind of moves. Movie sport moves. I call it movie tackles. You saw two dudes chase the puck down. So you had, you know, offensive, defensive player. The guy comes out of the box because the box is like half court, if y'all understand football, or midfield football, half court basketball. The guy comes out the box, and there's two of them. The would-be defender like runs into the wall, so the guy almost has a one-on-one. I mean, and that pretty much won the game. And I'm looking at this like, you got to be kidding me. It was the same thing of the what I call the movie tackle. We see this USFL do this all the time. So, hey, Lorenzo, what's happening, man? I've been blabbing my mouth. I'll get that black market price. Oh, yeah, definitely. That'd be cool. But just somebody can make it. That'd be real cool. Or shoot, maybe if you can even give me a deal on the go. I'll use these hands. I'm becoming such a tobacco addict. I'm going through these once a day. I'm gonna have to get a box. That's what they told me today. Like, why don't you just order a box? You come here every day. I'm like, you guys are pretty girls. They're like, thank you. Yeah. Oh, and the weather was nice. I mean, it was nice to play pickleball, being out and, you know, do drills for 2 hours. Really nice. Mini-Me, she's here. We're going to the city tomorrow. Yeah. My friend, I was saying, you know, Marion Barber, the second, you know, is passing away. As I said, his uncle married my cousin, so he showed more pictures of him that looked a lot better. You know, remembering his accomplishments. It's just, I've said many times, you know, fame is hell in a lot of ways. Fame is hell. Because sometimes you get punished harder for having fame. Now, I think Tupac was a character, but even the thing he was supposed to went to prison for, there was no way he should have went to prison for what he went for. Mike Vick, I give that prime example. It was two other people that got the second time for doing the same thing in the same county. They got fined $500. Michael Vick went to jail for not quite 2 years. I think it was 19 months. Went to prison, which seems very unlikely because when he came out, he wasn't in great shape. I don't understand how these dudes who are athletes go to prison and ain't nothing to do in prison but work out, and these dudes come out, don't work out, a la Mike Tyson. But they let other dudes fight in prison. But Mike Tyson didn't fight in prison. Now, what sense did that ever make to y'all? What sense did that make? They've let other people fight in prison. Sonny Liston got his start fighting in prison. So why didn't Mike Tyson get to fight in prison? What else he got to do? You know, Herschel Walker running for senator in Georgia. And I've said this many times. It's not just jumping on him because he's running for some shit. I've said this many years. I said this on the old channel. I've said this on this channel. Herschel Walker was the first cat that said every day he did 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups every day. He probably did that well into his 50s. From the time he was 18, 19 to probably in his 50s, he was doing 100 sit-ups and 100 push-ups every day. That's how disciplined that dude was. Now, he didn't have a lot of juke. He couldn't fake nobody out. He just straight ahead and outrun you. But that don't take nothing. No equipment. Just discipline. I wanted to know your email because I saw a video of Magnetic Shot by Marcus Smart. Yeah, it's still Eagle R as in R, as in Robert, R, Eagles are the bomb at gmail.com. So send that to me. You sent me stuff before though. You sent me that one stuff, or you left it in the comments because you found where they were sewing the battery magnet back into the ball. Yeah, that was a couple years ago now. So, but yeah, that's it. Eagles are the bomb at gmail.com. And it'll come to me. But yeah, I mean, it just gets too much. As I like Lobo, if you still watching, are you doing? I want to do a game, but I don't want to bump heads if you're gonna do it because I know Lobo like doing lives. But the thing of doing the lives, and I was trying to get everybody to do this, is put put the times of the manipulated shots or what you thought was manipulated, and I'll take the game. And we could, I'll go back or even make a video or something of going back through these times to look at this. So that's kind of how to keep a chart. So it's not just, you're saying, okay, shots are manipulated and you're showing one example, but we can chart many examples. This, if anybody's coached before, you keep a shot chart. And what I've done in the past is I keep a time chart. I put the person and I put the time that I thought the shot was manipulated. And that way you keep a record. So, yeah, he did. Yeah, Eagles. No, take the S out. It's got to be Eagle, no S. Eagle. Yeah, no capital. Nope, that ain't it. It's Eagle R. It ain't that. It's Eagle, not Eagles, which I should have put, but I was a little, I got dyslexia, so it's hard making these things. So it's Eagle R, just a little R, the. So it's Eagles R, the bomb at gmail.com. That's a good idea. Did it fit for football, but never basketball? No, it fit for football. When I did the Super Bowl, I was calling out plays and calling out sets. And I said the best one I did was that Gronk underneath, just looking at the set. And I said right before he got the touchdown, I was like, this is Gronk underneath for, and sure enough, they ran him. He didn't even go in motion. It was like as soon as the ball was snapped, he was flanked. He was in the flank position as the tight end, like an H-back, and he came under. And so football, you can kind of point that out, but you can point to manipulated catches, but basketball is a little easier, like a shot chart. Yeah. So football, I would say a little bit opposite of kind of what you said. It worked better for basketball than football. Football, I would just like call out the sets and stuff of what I anticipated coming. As I said many times, when we was watching that Seattle game against the Patriots, and Lynch had run, second down. First down. Lynch ran 9 yards. They was on like the 19. No, they was like on the 15. Lynch ran to like the 2 or 3 on first or second down. It was like maybe first down, second down. And soon as they got in that formation, I looked at them. I called it out. I was sitting next to my best friend. I'm like, they're passing. I was like blown away to see a passing formation. Like they're passing? Because when I looked at the formation, it's like, what else they running out of this? You got 3 people flanked down by the goal line. That shit made no sense. So it fit a little better in basketball because you could put the time. You could put the player and the time. And so I thought, for us and go back editing, if you recorded the game and go back, you could show, the times of the different shots. So I guess if you did a compilation of the game, you would have the raw data to go back into the game and say, okay, this is where we thought it was manipulated. This is why, that kind of deal, So if that's helpful. That's why I thought that was helpful to like do it live, but graft, not even graph, but chart the shot you think manipulated. And then if you go back and edit and look at it, you would have the time and the live action minute that it happened. So I guess that's the idea I'm trying to put out there. So it worked a little better in basketball, I thought, than football, if that makes sense. Because I've done that before. I've done lives doing basketball, and I would chart the times of the missed shots. That's all. So if that helps, yeah. So it's not that we're just, saying that there are a bunch of manipulated shots or just catching one or two. As I said, we saturate, a lot of reasons. I'm crazy. I'm sorry. I feel like this, that I've saturated to the point where it becomes too much. And the machine likes that. It likes when the more you saturate, it waters down what you do. And so it's not lack of seeing it, it's lack of how many times we're going to keep harping on this. Because the thing, as I said in WWE, knowing that it's fixed or talking about it's fixed doesn't stop it from operating. And even though this is a negative aspect of it, we're still talking about it. And what do they say? All publicity is good publicity. So I think we really going to have to narrow down, and not less content, but narrow down. We have to hone it in a little better. I'm seeing is that we have to hone in the presentation a little better to say, okay, they show the shot charts of the games. We showing the shot charts of shots that we're sure were manipulated, and the manipulated shots turned into these points. And the same could be for shots they missed too. That can be put in as well. Shots that we feel they missed on purpose, shots that we feel that they missed, they pushed out, because that's a big part of it too. Because some shots they ain't even got to push out. This dudes just be missing, but they don't want to take a chance, so they activate the system when it gets to the basket. And some of these shots that was going to definitely miss, they don't take chances with, and they're like, okay, we got to roll around and make it miss. so if that makes any sense. And I guess it's like what we do has to evolve. And so there's enough work out there that I think, and the goal is never to convince. It's not to convince. It's saying that this is a possibility. And all we're saying is that this is not real. This is still under entertainment. And this is part of what they do for the entertainment. And I think Super Sly said it. Super Sly was like, I was entertained. He was talking about some of them shots made. He was entertained, and that's it. That's it. Because as I've said about my daughter's mother, she said, she works so hard, she just want to turn on the TV and not think. And that's how a lot of people look at it. They don't really think. They turn on the TV. And remember, since the 1980s, I'll even go that, I'll say since the 60s, but I'll guess that since the 60s, the TV has babysitted a lot of children. A lot of children got babysitting on the TV. My brother learned how to read watching TV. They bought him, there used to be an old thing called a close and play. And close and play would play records. I mean, it wasn't very expensive. It was a child's record player, and you closed it and it'd play your record. If you had an album, you switched the thing and it would play the album. The album would go a little bit outside, but it was a close and play. My brother was in first or second grade, and Sesame Street came out with a whole series, how to count, math, all that went with the close and play. And so my brother was able to watch Sesame Street, because some of it, wow, I hadn't even thought about this in a long time. There were, how did that work? Let me get this right. So I don't want to. There were days that you could, okay, so if they were doing the letter A, you could follow along almost on the material you had. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was like they kind of worked that system into some of the daily shows too. But I guess I'm kind of getting away. But my brother pretty much learned, and a lot of you, very common thing was getting off school if you, even if you didn't have cable. I'll just say, just generally everybody basically had access to this. Since I was a boy, the televisions have always made cartoons available forever when children get out of school. And so almost universally, everybody who's listening to me experienced that when you got out of school, certain cartoons on. Now, of course, as those that grew up with just cable your whole life. But some of the better, even cable shows with cartoons was on. For those of you like my brother's age in their 40s, the Ninja Turtle stuff, that was right after school. So, of course, I came from the age where cartoons was the first only showed on the weekends. And, cartoons was mainly made before movies. You go to movies and you see cartoons. That's what they were mainly made for. And they became more popular. Like even the Three Stooges was shorts before movies. One time I told my dad that I thought we ain't start getting color until we got color TVs. He looked at me like when Bill looked at Theo when he told him that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Well, you know what? My son told me the same thing. My son is about to be 32 in August. And my son told me when he looked at black and white pictures, he didn't think we got color until this, like he said, when did y'all get color, in the 70s? He's like, all the pictures from the 60s that y'all show me is all in black and white. So what, y'all didn't get color to the 70s? That's what my son asked me. He asked me that in his 20s. He's like, y'all didn't have color like that movie show, remember that movie where the people didn't have color and then the people came in and brought the color? Wasn't really like that, a little more, but well, that's what my son thought. He thought we didn't get color until the 70s. That's what he told me. He's like, I didn't think y'all got color till the 70s. Because all the pictures was in black and white. Color film was cheaper, but color was available. There's a picture of my great uncle took of my mother and me. It was in color from 61. I'm probably a month or two, if that old. I'm little, so. Kept my mind was a teenage when I asked this. Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, that goes right into what my son thought the same thing. And I mean, he thought it is really rational. He's a very rational child, I'm crazy. Sorry, I'm not articulate tonight. I'm sloppy with my words. I guess I'm done with this paper. The little puddle I made is just going to keep driving me nuts. No paper towels over here. Made a little mess. There we go. All right. And that goes into the seriousness of people. People, as again, you have to take everything serious these days. I think people, that's the problem. When people get comfortable, they become less serious. And I think it's a society, from now on, every day we have to be serious. And comfort takes that away. And this is, like I said about gas, no matter how much they pay, we're going to pay it. So why talk about it? Because the more you talk about it, the more it feeds it. When you like, okay, I make enough to pay whatever they say, move on. This is where I want to drive. This is what it's going to cost me to drive. That's it. That doesn't feed it as the worry, because they do this to make you even more worried. But if you look at something like that, it's the same way as your rent and the food. Okay, you say the food gonna cost more. What, I ain't gonna eat? If I can afford Taco Bell every day, well, whatever. If Taco Bell went up to get me a taco, I'm gonna pay it. Why worry about it? And that's what it is. And I said before, we can survive on a lot less than what we have now, easily. Yeah, guess I'll leave that there. I have a whole nother train of thought, but I'll hold some stuff in. I do release too much at times. And so I'll hold that in. But yes, we can make it on a lot less. We can make it on a lot less. It's like the Good Time show. They did an episode where they found roaches at the lady's house, her dog food, and they thought the lady had made her casserole with dog food, so nobody wanted to eat it. And in the end, she was wondering why nobody would eat a casserole. And it's like, hey, we found dog food in your house, so we thought you made casserole out of the dog food. She's like, she was like real proud. She's like, well, I'm so poor, I have to eat dog food. But do you think I would stoop so low to make you eat dog food? It's kind of like an oxymoron shit. It's like, well, this makes no sense. So you're saying the gathering was more important than your own survival. So you're going to put more money into the gathering of everybody compared to what you're used to having every day. So being social and being okay socially is worth more than your everyday survival. I am an 80s baby, 90s child, and I can say I am part of the last generation where children's shows can not only entertain you but educate you. Shows like Carmen Sandiego and Ghost Riders. Well, I mean, until Sesame Street recently, Sesame Street was excellent. Sesame Street taught a lot of children how to read. What they weren't getting at school, especially phonics. I saw that a lot with children. They were able to get the phonics from Sesame Street. As I was saying, I struggled with the number 8 in first grade, just couldn't get it. I couldn't even get the 2 little O's. And then one day, one of my friend's mothers was the teacher's assistant sub. I don't know, but she sung it. She said, you make an 8 and you go up straight. You make an S and you go up straight. And that clicked with me. Nothing else they taught me, and again, I have dyslexia, but nothing else they taught me about making an 8, I couldn't get it. I could not even get the 2 little circles. And I learned that in high school. And somebody's like, you couldn't do that? You couldn't make 2 little circles? I'm like, well, no one ever showed me that before. I had a partner that did drafting. He's like, why didn't you just do this? Well, no one showed that to me. But I remember my friend's mother saying that. You make an S and go up straight. This is shit. 55, 56 years ago. But I never forgot that. Oh shit, I'm down with my hour. I remember Carmen Sandiego and Magic School Bus Rides, and what those became, those shows, Carmen Sandiego especially, and the Magic Bus became super early. So a lot of children would get up before they went to school and could watch those kind of programs. That kind of programming was available. It wasn't the saturated market that we see today, a whole networks of just cartoons. It wasn't the same thing. And as I said before, when I was in 2nd and 3rd grade, they banned Tom and Jerry and the Three Stooges. And you don't see a lot of the Tom and Jerry with the mammy. You talking about murderous, 2 little murderous creatures. You catch those. And as I said, cartoons was before adult movies. So if you catch the Tom and Jerry's from the 40s with the mammy in them, you're going to see some violence. They unleash on each other. Seaman Street did teach a lot of children. Sesame Street did teach a lot of children. Of course. Yeah, of course it did. It did. It did. And I actually remember going to school with people saying that they couldn't pick up some of the phonics, especially, and Sesame Street helped them with the phonics. And so they were very good in that regard. As I said, the original Sesame Street, Miss Susan, was a lady that grew up with my mother. Used from the zeros. I just laughed, and my oldest son was still born in the 80s. My oldest son was born in 89. And then I have, let's see, Camille was born in 90. Brennan was born in 95. And then Devin was born in 97. And the rest of them is Cameron and Keelan were born in 01 and 02. And then my daughter was born in 06. And then the youngest was born in 11. So from 80s, 90s to zeros to 40 years of having children. Detroit getting destroyed by the Yankees. They got destroyed last night, so you're not bragging. They got destroyed last night. I used to watch Carmen Sandiego after school. That show made me fall in love with geography. Nice. Now, I have actually 8. I've raised 7 children, but I have 8. I actually have 8 children. Happy birthday. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's back there crashed. I think he crashed. Imagine he got his phone charged. He was asking for a charger earlier, but I imagine he got it charged. So, yeah, I raised 7. And, I one of the few men in this state that got custody of his children. Going to court through a divorce. He's got custody of my 3 boys. And then my daughter, we pretty much share. We live around the corner from each other. I see her every day. She's maybe asleep. Imagine she is, though. She had to get up this morning and bouncy house for a couple 3 hours, so that'll make you sleepy. When I was younger, they called them the moon houses. They had that, they had the bouncy houses. They're called moon houses because you could move like you was on the moon. Remember how on the moon they was bouncing all the time when they showed the footage. 12/21/00 for me. Oh, so you just a little bit younger than, because Cam was born in 01, so you just a little older than him. How up your birthday today? I thought it was later this month. No, my birthday is the 30th. My son's birthday is today. Yeah, my birthday ain't till the 30th. Couldn't imagine having a 60-year-old dad. Yeah. For my daughter, I'm like grandparents' age, for my daughter. I'm 50 years older than my daughter, and I've told this story before. One of my teammates, I was like 19 or 20, so my mother was only in her 40s, and so was my dad. My dad and my mother are like 2 years apart. So when I was 20, my mother was 40, my dad was like 38. And I was sitting with my friend, and we was talking, smoking, and he was like, yeah, my dad is 70. It's like, your dad is 70? He was a year older than me. He was 21, and he told me his father was 70. I couldn't imagine. It's like, damn. So, and, now I look back, and I'm in the same situation. When my daughter's in college, I'll be in my 70s. So it'd be like most people, grandparents would be that age. But, Sesame Street and Electric Company show for me. Electric Company is where Morgan Freeman came from. They try to mix Morgan Freeman, wonder if he Jimi Hendrix. My dad is 71 and I am 27. Ah, okay. So that'll put him at, like 56. Wow. 46, 56. So yeah, Lobo. 46. He's 46. Yeah. You can still have babies then. 50 years older, that's crazy. My brother and youngest,
was yesterday. My brother and youngest uncle's birthday was yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah, my son turns 21 on the 5th. And then my stepfather's birthday is the 15th. My brother, and when my grandfather was alive, birthday is the 22nd of June. My sister's is the 25th. And I have an aunt a year and a day older than me. Hers is the 29th. So my aunt is a year and a day older than me. So I was born, she was still a baby. Probably, maybe walking a girl. She's walking. Wow, they do look alike. Oh, your mother was 40. Wow. Wow. Your mother was 40. Okay. Wow. Oh, my girls really look alike. You look at these pictures of them. It's like, what's funny, like I talk about what non-locality is. And non-locality really is with my daughters, but my children in general. So non-locality, to tell you how it relates to my daughters, is my daughters have never really been around each other. My youngest been around me a lot, but my middle daughter not as much. She lived in Michigan. She grown up in Michigan, but they have the same style at the same age. They make the same faces. I mean, it's. I've been around them both, and it's just that is non-locality. Now, the way non-locality goes worldwide is monkeys somewhere will do something, and the rest of the monkeys all over the world where they're monkeys will do that shit. That's non-locality basically for you. But I see it in my children. They do that shit too. Because she was wearing a hat backwards like my other daughter would. And I'm like looking at her like, wow. They act alike, and it's just funny. My family friend had a child when he was 12. Wow. So when this child was 20, he was like 32. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, my mother was saying last night, my aunt had a baby at 13 back in the 30s. No, back in the 40s. Yeah, my aunt had a child. No, she had her at 14, but she got pregnant at 13. She had her at 14. Yep. Your mom was 40 and your dad was 40. Wow, that's still hope for me. Yeah. Oh, you can. There's dudes in their 70s and 80s that had children. So for a man, yes. For women, after 50, they pushing it. But yeah, the 40s, yeah, that's not terribly uncommon. It's people that have had very big families. Used to be quite a big thing, but not so much anymore. And then you see, I'll tell you what didn't used to exist that exists now. If you saw a family with 5 people, generally it'd be a mother and a father. And I have a cousin, and I think she's got booty implants the way it looks, but whatever. And she's still young. She had her first fairly early, probably 15, 16. So she's had 5 children, but she's single. It looks like she's mostly been, dudes coming in and out of her life. But you see that more and more now. A woman would have 4 or 5 children, but be single, which is my neighbor across the street. When she moved, she had just had a baby. It's funny. She's a booger bear too, but she had 3 children, and then she just had a baby. No man. And that does get kind of sad. Your mom had you, yeah. My ex-wife had my son at 20. I think they're 20 or maybe 21. Because she just turned 48 or 49. He turned 27. So she had him at 20, 21, something like that. I think she was 28 or 29 when she had my youngest son. So, of course, my other women a little younger than them too. I think my daughter's mother, my daughter's 11, her mother is 42, 43, and then my 16-year-old daughter's mother is 46 maybe. So she had her at 35, 36, somewhere like that. She's in her mid 40s, so she's younger, a little younger. So what can I say? People like me. Yeah, that is sad. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, that's part of mantras. You can't really. I know the mag man would be like the devil horns, but is everything? Not necessarily everything is. Not all the hand signs. I mean, Doctor Strange shows you that how a lot of the hand signs can be used in magic in a positive way. So I don't know. I don't know. Like you see those pictures of Michael Jackson showing the one eye symbol. Did he really know? You think? You think Michael at like 10 years old knew or he was just following instructions? Just do this, Michael. I think the later. I don't think he knew. I think a lot of them pictures he took when he was 10, 11 years old, he ain't really know. They was just using him. I'm sure as he got older, he started to catch on. So everyone doesn't necessarily know. Now, do some players? Yeah, they do. When you see I want to say the sticking out the tongue, and that's follows under the same kind of thing. You can't say every instance it means something. So, I say yeah for some, not all. It ain't really that big a deal. The average age for first-time fathers have gone up. It used to be 27, now it's 30. So yes, you are having men that are still pumping out sperm, impregnating women in their 40s. Oh, definitely. Definitely. I know my daughter's mother really hooked up with me because she probably saw I had all these children. I could probably get her pregnant. That's kind of the feeling I got over the years. She saw that it was somebody that would get her pregnant, and I did. I got her pregnant. So I think, and it's funny with her, Kevin Samuels would have helped her because her sister's married to a millionaire. So in her mind, she thinks she should be too. And her sister's a tough package too. Her sister burned severely as a child. Her sister's severely burned. Severely burned. I mean, they both grew up as little girls with masks to form their faces. And her sister has a high quality millionaire husband. And my ex has, she has burns and stuff, a little bit of disfigurement in her fingers, but she's not going to get that. She's just not. She's not going to get that. She shoots for that, but she's not going to get that. She's not realistic. I'm not the guy for her. I'm not saying that, but she fits under that. She has this idea that this is what she should get, but she'll never get that. She'll just never get that. Multiverse show Demon Spirits. Okay. I didn't see that yet, so I can't really say. I think you can say Lorenzo is a man. Lorenzo is a man. I'm pretty sure of that. So I can't really say about that. Haven't went to see it. I wanted to go see Top Gun, but I don't know if anybody wants to see it with me. Sounds like a fun movie. I know it's probably got some bullshit, boring parts, but I'd still like to see it. Gosh, it was an exercise I do want to do with people, but hell, can't really remember it. I thought about it earlier. Can't remember it right now. Didn't write it down. So it'll have to go next time. And I know I bring up some of these things that doesn't really seem obvious, but it really, if you look at your mind, you see that it is obvious. because a lot of us don't control our minds fully. We have attachments, and it really helps your overall well-being that you get rid of those attachments, that you locate and realize that it's something else that's pushing out thoughts and emotions. Thoughts and emotions, because some of this stuff stays quiet until emotions come in. And until you become a master over that during emotional times, you can still be driven by these energies. So that's why I say this is, and that's why I do the practice of trying to quiet your mind and see. Or I'll say even a better practice, next time you get emotional, see if things come in that ain't necessarily how you thinking at the time. That'd be another indicator. Is there something feeding the situation? Because given, when you're in a stressful situation, if your body is still not really feeling the stress, it's not coming in as hard. And so when the stress first comes in and you feeling that, see if there's something pumping out ideas that your body is still at a certain relaxed mind of the stressful situation, but there's something there pumping ideas out that want to affect the body. But yet you're in a state of mind still in control, and you're like, why is it trying to affect everything? Where is this coming from? Can you catch that kind of thing? Because then once it takes over the body, the emotion becomes, it'll surface stronger, and it will affect, because once the body takes over the emotion, it's harder for you to resist, for you being fully emotional. If that makes sense. Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? Stranger Things is lit. There's some satanic things used. I gotta check it out. I haven't really watched it. I have not really watched Stranger Things yet, so I don't know. I haven't really checked that out, so I can't really say one way or another what's demonic and what's not. Don't know. Haven't followed it. It's hard for me to sit and watch certain stuff, but yeah, I'll check it out. I heard Sly talk about it, so I will have to check it out too to see if it is or not. Because demonic don't even mean what you think it is. As I said before, to pass their agenda, demons got to do good shit. It's like we hear demonic and you think it's negative, and that puts them off the hook to me. Because if you just think that demons is just there to do demonic things, you miss the whole point of how it all works. It ain't just the negative side. That's why somebody asked me last night, negative path. That's not necessarily a true thing. True thing. That's not necessarily totally true. It's like I've taken my own path. I haven't followed something that's already put out there. I follow my own thing, my own path. And so if you just think that demonic means something bad all the time, you can be fooled. Because just because it's demonic does not mean it is evil all the time. I mean, evil is like you fish. It's the same thing. Everything that's evil don't show itself as being evil. Because, should I give the example that comes? I guess I'll give this example because it's coming up. Say you were a teacher and you see this child doing some evil shit in class. You send the child to the office, and all of a sudden the child's parents is there, and maybe their attorney and all these people, and they ask you, what exactly did this child do? Now in your mind, you see that it's some evil shit that this child was doing in your classroom. But are you going to tell all these people that? given that situation? Are you going to tell all these parents that this little motherfucker's evil? I saw him do some evil shit. I got him the fuck away from me because I wanted that energy away from me. But would you tell the parents that? So that's something that could be evil, and you see an evil practice and evil allowed. And then you got to tiptoe your way around that evil. But yet you see the evil every day. Now, most people won't be faced with that kind of thing, but I'm saying that is the depth of how evil can work. It ain't just ugly. It ain't just horrible. You have to understand evil can smile at you. As I always use the Passion of Christ, he gets off the cross and he's like, I thought I was the one. The little shining, blinding, bright light little angel says, no, you weren't. How can somebody else tell you you're not the one if you think you're the one? No one else can tell you you are or you aren't. That was the point of the Matrix with the Oracle. She's like, I can't tell you if you are or you aren't. I'm not here to tell you that. You have to figure that out. Young Thug, okay. Stranger Things is good. Okay, I gotta watch it. The devil can do good too. Thug, yeah. Young Thug once said that. Okay. And I miss what he said. According to a Native American thought, magical power, magical right. And like I was saying, you know, you want to check people on being witches. You want to check them on being witches. A true witch can keep a candle burning all the time and keep a pot cooking all the time. That's a witch. Now they ain't up to that alchemist level. They bullshitting. But let me say, modern times, there's a lot of different ways to keep pots going. It can be subtle. It ain't got to be in your face, the pot, you know, in the chimney. No. Now, this day and age, that's not happening. But there are subtle ways that you can still see them practicing that. Both of them. There's very subtle ways. So you go somewhere and you see some shit like that, pay attention to it. If you see something like that and essential oil smells all the time and you see that it's dead and it's still smelling essential oils, it might be kind of a clue that you're dealing with a real witch and not somebody's just faking. So I guess I should give that disclaimer. And the same with candles. Candles can be, candles can be hidden with light bulbs, but that's not really helping them out. They kind of got to keep a candlelight thing going. So light bulb ain't gonna get it. They gotta. That one's harder for them to hide. That one's harder for them to hide. But if you see something like that and you blow it out and you come back and you don't think it's one of those trick ones that you blow out, you know, and if you can deal with the witch, deal with her, but just know what you're dealing with. That's all. That's all. Those who are born with Panther, Jaguar, Mustang have a serious issue of controlling their anger, have the issue as well. Why do they have to keep a candle lit? That's the eternal fire. It's like keeping your heart beating. You know, alchemists for a supreme alchemist and witches at a certain level. That's like keeping the sun lit. Same kind of thing. They need to keep the sun lit, and that's simple alchemy. And fire is keeping the pot going again to mix chemicals, to mix all the chemicals. So it's two things. So you're showing that you can always keep the sun going. You master that power, but you've also the power of alchemy of mixing things together. But you have to have the pot hot enough all the time so when you need to mix things together. So, but yeah, that's why the candle it's a representation of the sun. not gonna necessarily gonna say sun worship, but the power of the sun, controlling, always being able to control the power of the sun. So, and when you see people that can do this, it's an eye opener. I would get in rooms, these motherfuckers could do this shit, and I would like try to snuff out all the candles because motherfucking bitches would put all these candles together and like, okay. And I would try to snuff up to see which one is the one. And I'd be like snuffing up all the candles in their room and shit. They'd come back like, fucker, you already knew what was going on. What are you fucking with my candles for? But it was just fun to me. I was like, yeah, what if these motherfuckers ain't gonna go out? Now put them all out. Like, this one ain't going out, honey. What's up with you? No, fucker, you already knew. You fucking with me. Why you make all this mess putting all my candles out? You already knew. Yeah, I did know, but I like fucking with people. Malik Manuk doing a report on Charlie in San Francisco would have been fucked up if they take. She got off that pool and fell off. That definitely would have a sports center, not so top 10. Wow. Yeah, it really would be. And so, you know, you can mess with people too to see if they real. I knew she was real. I was just really fucking with her, but I was like, which one? I couldn't figure out which one because I kept trying to pay attention which one it was. I'm like, okay, since I don't know, I'm gonna find out. And like, turn it off, come back on. Turn it off, come back on. And she come back in the room and they're all off, and she's like, okay, you're a child. Yes, I am. And you knew I fuck with shit. Now I found your shit. She's like, but you already knew. Well, I had my inklings, but now I do know. I'm going to tell on you, and they're going to come get you. But it's better not to be like, bewitched. You marry a chick, and you're not sure, and then this shit starts happening, and you have to let it slide. No. You got to know from day one. Can't go ignorant, that kind of thing. And technically, they're supposed to tell you before you make the next step with them. So if you have the inklings and they don't tell you, don't marry them. That ain't really fair for you. And I'll say this, whatever magical powers, I've said this many times. This book has multiple, Ostromancy, Serencape, Interpretation of Thunder and Lightning, Chiomancy, Sky Visions. I've had those Sky Visions. Metromancy, which is being able to read shooting stars. Alcatromancy, Electromancy, observing birds, usually a rooster, pick through scattered grain. This goes on and on of abilities that people can have. So this shows about 40 abilities. So it's more than just being Superman. We all, if anything about this realm and about our essence is we're spiritual people, magical people. So especially melanated people. Melanin is a type of magic that's universal. Try to do a deep understanding of melanin and see how much you start having to pay for the books. The most expensive book I've come across is a book on universal melanin. And they try to put this stuff where you can't buy it because they don't want this going out. I'll give Zach Hubbard props for bringing my love for math back with gematria. Yeah, and I'll say, really the one that really opened things up was more Derek than Zach, because Derek made a better gematrinator. you know, with the matches. And as I was, you know, I would go on and tell Zach years ago, a lot of times the matches become with the Jamancy. The Jamancy, yeah, that's where the Jamancy comes in, is in the matches, is Jamancy. As I said before, where Derek's Gematria really comes in for individuals is if you meet a woman, or even if there's a job offering, and now there's a lot of jobs, but if there's a decision to be made, you can put the decision in there, and then you look at the matches, and the matches is where the Jamancy comes in. Because say it's a job, and again, it's 1,000 jobs, so your question has to be more specific. But if you throw that in there, that's why I say dating is a little easier thing. You put the girl's name in there, and you look at all these matches or unmatches to you. That's the Jamancy part that people would miss, you know, because you got to go through a lot of information to see. But I say, you know, relationship wise, is because you put their name in there, and then you start seeing the patterns. Are the patterns favorable to who you are? Are you seeing names coming repeatedly over and over again that you vibe with, or is it the opposite? You seeing names that you don't vibe with? That is really, to me, the brilliance of what they did, of what he really did. And again, they don't push the Jamancy at all. They just push straight gematria. Derek does with the matches, because Derek put that all together, that shout out the matches. Again, the other sites don't really put in the matches like that. Now, are the matches subjective? Could be. However, it seems pretty organic the way he put it together. The matches is come from a pool of possibilities that he put in there. And he only had to put a limited number where the matches kind of build up themselves. So that's the part I think they don't mention that I do. Is the Jamancy part that people don't use. Jamancy. And Jamancy goes into this study. As you see them drawing in the land, you know, you put these possibilities in the dirt, the earth give you a different answer. And as I've showed this over and over again, well, yeah. And I'm definitely the only one that talks about this. And the advantage this has compared to just putting the gematria in, as I've said over and over again, you have an idea, or even say a relationship, so we can break it back to a relationship. You can put the relationship in all these different worlds. And then each scenario will come out. So you'll get all these different worlds, and then it get refined into these 4 worlds. Then it gets refined more into these 2 worlds. And then, can you live in this world? Is this the answer you wanted? When you refine the answer. This is where ideas live. And that's the advantage of this. You're able to put your ideas and possibilities in living worlds. Nobody talks about this but me. Not to say people don't practice this, but people don't really talk about it. It's a multiple practice off numbers. Oh, well, thank you, General Peace. That's very kind words. Thank you. Thank you for that. Very kind words. So that's how I feel about it. It's a lot of possibilities. It's a lot of possibilities how you can use that. And I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about Zach. I think Zach one of them peoples, but I'll say this. Well, 2 things. I don't think every story is worth breaking down. I think if we learn anything about this reality, is like some of this shit we got to just ignore. We really do. Some of it is not even worth paying attention to because it's the same thing rehashed. And it's not that people don't get hurt, but it's the same thing, just at a different place. And what you have to look at is if it's going to make you feel the same emotional feelings, because they're basically emotional stories. Dramatic. You have to sit back and what I call sit back and dig. You really have to sit back and dig. Like you come home, your wife, your girl talking that shit. Before, like, she wants you to destroy your child, beat the shit out of him. You don't even, I used to get put in that all the time. I'm not, he whoops ass better than me. So the women would wait for me to get home. And I would really have to sit back and dig it first. I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at this little motherfucker. He didn't do shit around me. But this bitch wants me to destroy this little boy. And so this bitch is not going to quit fucking with me until I destroy him. But I would still have to sit back and dig before I just whoop the shit out of one of my children. Because again, you got this emotional woman that feels that the child would get more of a lesson from me whooping his ass than them. my children would be like, they would treat my exes like the Virgin Mary. Mother, please just whoop her ass and get it over with. Please, mother, we pray. Just whoop her ass. Just you can extend it, whoop her ass, but just you whoop her ass. It'll be over with. That they would plead with her. They'd be on their knees praying and shit. Please, Heavenly Mother, Madonna, please just whoop her ass and let him go away. Do not let him come home from work mad, upset, and he got to whoop our ass. We implore you, don't do it, mother. No, you shouldn't have fucked with me. That's how they would do it. 8 to 4, 4, 2, etc. That's why I say some scripted, but different actors. Yeah, different actors. Yeah, exactly. And so you keep seeing this thing over and over again. You can't think it's anything different than what it originally was. What it originally was. And like it or not, maybe, they might want to ban me or not. I mean, we have to know the gun legislation. Why the first thing they say is we need less guns every time something like this happens. They don't correlate. The two don't correlate. It ain't because there's more guns that these things are happening. But yet there's a certain party out there that wants you to make you think that. So if that's their message every time, it makes you think they're behind it. Doesn't it? If the first thing out of their mouth is ban, it makes you think that they're behind the action. So that's what it makes me think of. Well, I've gone for an hour and 40 minutes. It's probably late enough. I can't sleep until noon tomorrow because it's going to rain. And I want to get my pickleball supremacy, my supremeness in. So I'm going to wake up fairly early. I'm not going to sleep till 12 like I did today. But last night I laid down like I don't have anything to do today. Hear a motorcycle like they're racing just from the sound. They're driving fast. Yeah. Okay, so tonight's card is Ben, or the Sky Pillars. There we go. It also means Cain. Fluid reference points, time space traveler, Skywalker, angelic messenger, pillars of heaven, courage, new direction, mysterious journey, or compassion. So those, think of all these, new direction and courage would stand out the most. The symbols are quartz. Number 13, universal movement. Sunset pink. Ooh. Ooh, sunset pink. Ooh, man, sunset pink. Damn, they come up with the best colors. So what color would you like your wedding? I want, I don't know, all I know is I want my suits to be sunset pink, baby. I want her to wear sunset pink and me to wear sunset pink, and I want everybody else in the party to have sunset pink. Oh, what kind of gators do you want? I want sunset pink gators. Let me go look in the back. I'm sure I got you. What size you need? The herbs are almonds. The flower is a pink rose. The flower essence is a silver sword. Scent is rose. Rose stinks. Stones are kunzanite, which I have. Rose quartz, pink sapphire, star rose quartz. It's an earth element. It is a new direction because it comes from the east, baby. Shadow is desire for isolation, withdrawal, retreat. Fear of the unknown, limited reference points, oversensitivity. And that's a big one right there. Are you being, and that's a little bit what I was saying about certain things. Are you oversensitive to these things? And that's the same thing, you know, if you're dealing with a witch and she's oversensitive to some of this stuff, he's like, but the way to get out of it is explore your growth edges by facing your challenges, draw the light of courage, compassion to yourself, and be a radiate to others. Look at the sacred journey. The harmonic wisdom, or the note, the sound is the balance. Put your hands up over your head and a few inches apart, forming pillars, then moving them up and down from head to heart, creating a column of energy through you. Saying, I am a struck bell, once struck, there's no return. May the light of love that I am spill into the lives that I touch and be harvested infinitely. I am pillar of the invisible temple that brings the heaven to earth. And so as I close, I do want to do another little exercise. Again, it's not going to be forever. And even if you watch the replay, you can practice this on your own. So as I hold this, let me say the name right. Concordiavite from the Boron Open Pit Mine, Boron County, Kern County, California. So this is out in the desert, more than likely. But let's have a few minutes of silence. but this is okay. Yeah, okay. So this is what I want you to practice. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to keep silent. And for the count we keep silent, see if what comes in comes from you. That easy enough. Like before you turn off. So the way we're going to run is like 2, 3, 1. I'm turning off all sound, all thought. I'm just going to do a holding pattern and see what wants to come in. All right. So let's try that. And so, however you want to prepare yourself, close your eyes, keep them open, doesn't really matter. But stop all thoughts. As you stop all thoughts, see what makes a thought come in. And that might be, and some of this concordiavite might help push it away too. I'll put that out there. So 3, 2, 1. We'll hold for a couple breaths to give each and every one of you to see how much in control you are of your own thoughts. So I'm going to go like 3, 2, 1. So 3, 2, 1. All right. Now I cheated a little bit because I started working on my breaths. So I think about my breaths, and just do that from time to time to know, to make sure you're getting rid of attachments and that they are your thoughts, because attachments can affect your thinking. So I will leave you with the Time Walking Papers of Mora. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the Great Serpent, which means that all of us know how to move through the Milky Way. Put me down for thanking one of them people as well. I bet he got a couple of small hats in his closet. I think so too. I mean, he kind of has told you that he is. He is. Is he controlled opposition? It appears so. And I say he's controlled opposition because, as I said, I can't do every shot in the NBA. It's overkill. And reporting on every story is the same way. It's overkill. There's never ignoring. And some of this stuff you've got to ignore. Just as I say, demons can do good work, the beast doesn't like to be ignored. That is one of the easiest things to learn as you get spiritual. You start seeing that this beast doesn't like to be ignored. It wants you to pay attention. Oh, racist, racist, racist. It wants you to pay attention to it. But as soon as you start ignoring the beast, that's when you see how the beast will fight to get your attention as an individual. And so if you see a person that everything that comes out they report on, at some point you have to understand that they have to be working for this thing, because everything ain't worth reporting on. If you're in this game long enough, and he brags about how long he's been doing it, you know that you have to ignore this beast for your own sanity. You can't just keep breaking down everything, because all this shit ain't worth breaking down. It ain't worth paying attention to. So that's my break on Brother Zach. Going on 9 years. Oh, okay. He's been married for 9 years. Wow. Oh, okay. Congratulations. 9 years is a long time. I met my first wife 30 years ago. All right. So in closing, I always say, remember, be the eyes of Laura Marsh with people you deal with. Remember, I'm another yourself. So when people come to you with these things, remember, they're another you. So be the eyes of Laura Marsh to look through the eyes of the person that's facing you, because you can see bullshit or if they real. And if you're working tonight, may you travel, maybe, may work end safely. May you travel to your home safely. And may you get all the rest you need to make you power up enough to do it again if you got to do it again. And those of you that are going to your creation ball field, otherwise known as a bed, may you know that you're protected. May, if you ever feel that something invades your area during your sleep, you can ask the things in your room to protect you. Re-energize them. That's all. Turn them on. Say, this is what I need of you. No matter it be sheets, paint, no matter what it is, there's things there that you put there. So these things should work for your higher self. So activate them, and they will protect you. And finally, remember, love just is. Love has no equal, no opposite. It just is by itself. It's love. And in closing, I'll say the days are long, but the years are short. It's some days that I look back and it seems like it's still 1981. I'm working for the water department. I'm You know, it's 95 degrees. I got to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Here's the whole world having fun, and I'm working in shit. And there's one of my reality. It still seems like that shit was so long it took for that day to get over. And it's just a beautiful day, and everybody's enjoying their life, and I'm working in shit. And so, in closing, thank you for watching, old boy. Thank you for letting me come in this late hour, staying up, hanging with me. I appreciate it. And may you go through your time positive as you can. And take every day seriously. And then the world will take you seriously. And if you have to remind them, I'm serious. I'm not a bullshit person. I'm serious. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show, baby. I've been your super funky host, Big Pontiac. Until we meet again, say less.